morning, everybody. I'm here and I am wide awake because I'm usually wide awake every day because I come home from work and I'm raring to go, but I'm on time. I'm here. And actually, we started even a few seconds early. How are we doing today after the first day of a new era? A new era of unity. Do you feel the unity already? Do you feel the nation coming together as one? Do you feel it? I'm asking genuinely. I gotta say, I forgot to do this, obviously. I just feel like we're all getting closer, and I've always wanted to feel closer to you, my friends. The unity. Let me read something before I play the intro, because I found this fascinating. Now, granted, it's I'm going to read you a couple things, actually. One, Katie Hopkins, if you're familiar with Katie Hopkins, and some people like Katie Hopkins, some people don't. I can take her or leave her, but her view of what was going on at the inauguration is interesting, and I'm just going to read you a quote here. It feels numb here, like watching surgery on your own hand when you are anesthetized against the pain, but can still see the knife cutting flesh and watch your own blood flow. That's exactly what it's like in D.C. Without people, there is no emotion. And without emotion, no one can feel anything. And just like surgery, it feels unreal. It is emotion that makes these events matter, and there is none to be had here. This is a sterilized inauguration in a city sanitized by a garrison of troops. All you can feel is numb. Biden steps up to the podium on an empty stand, addressing a mall void of life, and spoke of his hopes for unity. This is our moment of crisis and challenge, and unity is the only path forward. Let's start afresh. Let's start to listen to one another, see one another, hear one another. I look around at all the face masks and muted mouths and feel my eyes roll in their sockets. We must reject a culture in which facts are manipulated and manufactured. Okay, Joe. I remember those suitcases of ballots being hauled out from under the tables in Pennsylvania and the statistically improbable vote dumps in the swing states, and wonder how this old man is not choking on his own words. America has to be better than this. Just look around. Here we stand in the shadows of the Capitol dome. We endured. We prevailed. I just look around just as he asked us to do, and I see how barren it all is. This man is all but alone with his lies. Nothing has prevailed here. Not joy, not an emotion, and certainly not the will of the American people. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. It is Thursday, FTG Thursday, which we might have a few of those today. The 21st of January, 2021. The Thursday show, which is actually kind of my hump day show, because I'm also going to be doing a show on Saturday, which will be the 2-year anniversary show of the Morning Night Live. That's just a programming note for you all to remember. If you're up on Saturday, call your friends, call your neighbors, tell your favorite your internet friends and tell them to drop by the PDawgKnight Channel on Saturday morning. It might be at 9:30 instead of 9. I will make the official announcement tomorrow and pop that in both Discord, Twitter, and every other social media thing I use. And also I'll put probably a note on YouTube. Anyway, well, we have a new president, everybody. We have a new president. Joseph R. Biden is now the president. And, a new vice president. Kamala Harris. Every time I say her name, I think of Jericho Green and how he says, the woman who got horizontal to make her career go vertical. And I chuckle every time. I have another note. I read that quote from Katie Hopkins. Also, Daniel Greenfield had a pretty good take on the inauguration, and I'll just go through that one here. He says, there were no crowds, just soldiers. After the military and police contingent, the second largest group there for the inauguration weren't Biden's civilian supporters, but his propagandists. With few people, the media had to work twice as hard to manufacture the illusion that this was a popular leader taking office instead of a usurper imposed by Amazon, Google, Facebook, and the rest of the political, cultural, and economic oligarchy which owns the media in America. CNN, a subsidiary of AT&T, had already gushed about Joe Biden's arms embracing America. MSNBC, a subsidiary of Comcast, compared Biden to God. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. The only wounds being bound up were those of the ruling class, which had temporarily lost electoral power to an army of flyover country workers and peasants, only to reclaim it with sedition, wiretapping, abuse of power, billions of dollars, and soldiers in the street. Biden is not a charismatic leader. He isn't moving the cause forward. He is a placeholder for a ruling class that wants homes in DuPont Circle that it buys by selling out America to China, by ruining our economy with environmental consulting gigs and racial contract quotas, and for all the manifold ways which the swamp is coming back as Biden's wetland restoration project. Hail to the Thief is as much their anthem as it is Biden's. They fought to keep hold of D.C., the center of their power base, not because they care about its history or that of this country, but because it's where they network, collaborate, and do their dirty little deals at our expense. The troops in the streets are their warning to the rest of the country about who's really in charge. I just thought that was so apropos because I got to tell you, it really is. And as you listen to them continue to talk about the quote insurrection, end quote, you get just little pieces from all these people about, you know what, they really want one party rule. And one party, I don't mean one party Democrats or Democratic Party. I mean establishment cocktail party. Let's all go have a drink after we screw over the rest of the people. That party I'm talking about. And as skeptical as I was of President Trump in 2016, I think the greatest thing that he did as a president, and I think he's a great president. I think he was a good president. I think he successfully implemented the agenda as much as he could, although I thought there were some missed opportunities. But the greatest thing he did for me was open my eyes as to how much I cannot stand these politicians in Washington. And He's that outsider that just kind of broke open that gate and took those scales off people's eyes to realize that, maybe, just maybe, an American agenda is not so bad after all, as long as you're trying to help all Americans like Trump did, despite what some of these effers, I'm using that term right now because it's still early in the stream, tried to convince you otherwise. I think Donald Trump was truly wanted every American to succeed, regardless of their race, color, sexual orientation, immigration status. Legal immigration status, etc. So, but now, after all the vitriol and hate towards one man that trickled down to anyone who dared support him, now we have Joseph R. Biden? I think so. Yeah, I don't really care. Joseph R. Biden calling for unity. By the way, one of the funniest things from yesterday, and I didn't even bother watching the inauguration yesterday. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that I tweeted out, congratulations, President Biden, and Vice President Kamala Harris. Thank you, President Trump, and Vice President Mike Pence. That was the only thing I put on Twitter about the inauguration, or the peaceful transition of power. By the way, it wasn't necessarily all peaceful around the country, but not who the media led you to believe would be having issues with being peaceful, of course, because the idea seemed to have some issues in a couple of the Western cities. But anyway, there are lots of things to thank President Trump for, and there's lots of things to be concerned about with this man, Joseph Biden, especially with some of the first executive orders. I think if Biden makes it through these 2 years that he needs to get through to before he can hand it over to Kamala Harris so that she can have more than 2 terms, I think the one thing he's probably going to accomplish the most is he's going to screw things up enough just to get the Republicans, the Senate, and the House back. At least I hope so. Can't help but notice the horns. Oh, I can't even see it. Okay. Anyway, let's say good morning to everybody before I get into some of the articles that I pulled up for today. First, wait. Is that right? Was Richo here before Adam? I thought Adam, I don't remember. Anyway, good morning, Richo, our friend from Down Under, who gets the bell. And I'm going to give it to Adam Richard, because for some reason I think my chat jumped when I was clicking this, because Adam was here before Richo. But you both get a bell. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, Maddie, my news chick, who brought the coffee. I brought the tea today. I've got what's this one? The big Papa Bear cup. And I'm still drinking tea because I haven't got my taste back. So for whatever reason, drinking tea is a little more... what's the word? Palatable? I don't know. Sorry, I'm also clicking some things that I forgot to click before I started, because you know how it goes when you're a boomer trying to do tech shit. Anyway, good morning, Gunfox61, our illustrious Discord administrator. Also, good morning, Molly Mags. How you doing? Advocatus Diaboli, Small Man, Terai Deo, Cindy Rochelle, Select a Boy. Yeah, boy. Also, let's see. Oh, I got to scroll down because you guys have been talking. Jesse Leanne, how you doing? Attack Alpaca. Why are you so angry? And I'm not asking Attack Alpaca that. There is somebody in the chat called Why Are You So Angry? Welcome back. Nice to see you again. JB. Anyway, also, K Shull, what's happening? Sheagrath, howdy bigots. Mystical Forest 25. Well, I am glad to see you here. That's a name that I'm not familiar with, although I think you've been here a couple times, but nice to see you. Good morning, well day, how many left? Also, let's see. Swirl Blue, how you doing? I got why are you so angry? Legit Low Talker. That's another. You're kind of new to the show. Nice to have you back. Cultist 4, Mystic Forest 25, Jonas Pedersen. I'm scrolling, man. I'm having trouble here. I don't know why. There's gonna be. You got to do this phonetically for me someday. Somnambule Nation. I hear suicide is painless, but of course it is because I'm watching MASH. Oh, I was gonna say that's a theme song for MASH. If you didn't know that, there was a guy that I went to high school with who knew the words to that song too. I don't know why he knew it, but anyway. Cynical Lindsay, what's happening? 8 Camel, hey, there you are. Hello, chat and P-Dawg, he says. Gamer Valine, what's up? Unity, yes! Unity. Renee Mayette, what's happened? The Politburo spoken, that's funny. Spidey Man, what's up? Did I get everybody? Tyler F, I see you there. Holy smokes. Nicholas Daly, what's up? Hey to you too. Funky Animal, the Earl of Funkdom is in the house. Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Robert Chalk, Tuck Dog. Wow, there's a lot of people here today. I'm just I might have to, as this continues to grow, I might have to truncate my hellos because this takes a long time. But I'm glad so many people are here. Okay, I think I got everybody so far. That's at least spit it up. And also, let me do this quick. The first donation of the day through Streamlabs by Black Hebrew Israelite and Black Hebrew Israelite. I just got to let you know.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
That's right.
All right, thank you so much. Who said, I enjoyed the MSM giving creepy Uncle Joe the best sloppy blowjob in history. I guess I'm not gonna censor this.
That's right.
I wish my bitch can take a lesson on cupping the sack while looking me in the eye lovingly while I blow my load.
That's right.
And so much for the PG rating on my show. Good morning, Pissed Off Shih Tzu, Sapphire Dragon, and Hypnagogic Monk. So, I gotta tell you, the funniest thing that I heard yesterday, that's what I was gonna tell you before I started saying hello to everybody. The funniest damn thing I heard yesterday, and I not even hearing the speech, I almost fell off my damn chair. Hello, Hyman Lyman. That's hard to say. The funniest damn thing. Oh, Scotty Dubs, what's up? I didn't mean to miss you there. And Jonathan Peterson, hello to you too. I get, every time I see Jonas Pedersen and Jonathan Peterson, I almost get them mixed up because it's, but one's blue, I should know that one's blue and one's brown on the avatar. But anyway, so the funniest damn thing I heard yesterday, there's going to be a music thing here. Let me try this again before I read the super chat. The funniest damn thing yesterday I heard was Chris Wallace from Fox News, who said that he's been listening to the speech from every inauguration since John F. Kennedy, and that this speech by Joe Biden, mumbles slur words Biden, was the best inauguration speech he has ever heard. Now, I did not hear the speech. I got clips of parts of it, and I was thinking to myself, now remember, John Kennedy, famous, asked not what your country can do for you, or ask what you can do for a country, or something like that, whatever that quote is. You know the quote. You know the deal. You know the thing. Reagan's first inaugural address. Barack freaking Obama. Which you would think the Chris Wallace types would have been not only drooling over themselves but would be wiping white stuff off their face. Sorry, that's gross. I know it's gross, but you all can take it. I don't care. And we've already gone there with Black Hebrew Israelites' first donation of the day, so I'm just going to keep going with it. How the hell? Now, I've seen bits of it, and it's a typical Biden barely getting through a speech. And how the hell could this be the best speech? Anyone thought this was the best inauguration speech ever? It just told me that, okay, these motherfuckers in the media, and that includes the Fox News guys, because you know that Chris Wallace is just another mainstream media guy, and that's I don't care. I don't watch the news channels that much anyway, other than to make fun of them, or unless I'm, although I occasionally see Tucker clips, and I can't listen to Sean Hannity anymore, and but this is a Fox News guy telling us that this was the best inauguration speech ever. Now, I'm pretty sure there's some brothers and sisters that might just have some problem with that. But this is the media playbook right now. Prop up this old guy that doesn't really know where he is at all times, and just try to make him out to be the greatest thing since sliced freaking bread, or since the greatest thing since Orange Man Bad has flown off on the helicopter. And then also part of the playbook is they still want to shut anyone else down. And if you can say that Joe Biden's speech is the best inauguration speech ever, that's supposed to chip away at what we all think about him? Give me a break. Anyway, thank you, Mystic Forest 25 with the $5 through YouTube Super Chat, who says, well, it's done. For the next 4+ years, we're in deep doo-doo. Now for their list. And I know what that list is. Thank you very much, Mystic Forest. That list, yeah. Are we going to be allowed? Because let's put it this way. I asked the question on Twitter, and I asked the question yesterday, I think, here. Are we going to be allowed to use the hashtag resist on Twitter? Now, for example, yesterday, the hashtag #NotMyPresident trended for a while. Now, after a while, a lot of people were doing that early, and then a lot of people were on there using it to lefties, making fun of people on the right for using it, because, I think the people who are on the right are using it as a bit of a joke too, because immediately after, or even before Donald Trump was inaugurated back in 2017, resist and Not My President trended #1 and #2 the entire freaking day. Okay, nothing about Trump. I mean, Trump, I think he trended #3 that day. Someone else just showed up, by the way. Azul Azroth 13, how you doing? Our Savior Joe Biden is here. May he bring back the do-nothing platitudes and the establishment back. May he tax me higher since I have too much. Amen. Woman, Azir, Azed, a they, a them, and them. Oh, yes, that's hilarious. And also, good morning, Effin Mechi. I know I'm saying the first part right. It's the Mechi that I forget if I'm saying right. But close enough. By body, by choice. My body, my choice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Get ready for the forced vaccinations and the mask mandates and everything that we're gonna just be looking for. So anyway, today the theme is unity, and so I wanted to pull up some articles and just things to note of that show how much unity we have already when it comes to unity, by the way. Oh, by the way, thank you. Thank you, City Rochelle, Cynical Lindsay, Gamer Feline, who is a Dr. Hobbit, or Hobbit Opinions on Twitter, and Tyler F. for retweeting the show. Please share the show. Down here somewhere, there's an arrow that says share. You can send it out on your favorite social media, or you can try me on Twitter. Mine's Gab, and not Parler, because I haven't looked at Parler lately. I don't think it pops back up. Let me see. I'm going to click that link. I haven't tried it for a couple days. Nope, 404, not found. I know that if you go that you can do parlor.com, PRR. Let's do the Parlor check. Let's do a quick Parlor check. RLER.com. Let's see what pops. Oops, I don't want that. What pops up on parlor.com here. There was a message there. They had actually 2 pages. Apparently they're trying to relocate their servers in Russia. Oh, there is some limited stuff here. Wow, there are posts here. Okay, so there's here. Let me show you what's going on in Parler right now. Apparently, now this is I don't know why if I find this humorous or not, but they are relocating their servers to Russia, and which is that's an irony thing in my mind. Good morning, Space Trucker, Infamous One, Fight for Your Rights, and I think it caught up there. So here it is on Parler. If you open up their main page, now it seems like the right time to remind you all, both lovers of and haters, why we started this platform. We believe privacy is paramount and free speech is essential, especially on social media. Our aim has always been to provide a nonpartisan public square where individuals can enjoy and exercise their rights to both. We will resolve any challenge before us and plan to welcome all of you back soon. We will not let civil discourse perish. Now, interesting, they actually have some posts from yesterday. Sean Hannity, I've spent my entire career fighting for free speech, even for those I strongly disagree with. We stand with Parler in the fight for free and open dialogue. Senator Rand Paul, competition is the surest means of preserving free speech. Everyone left and right should be horrified at big tech's attempt to stamp out speech. I wish Parler and all other innovators success in keeping the marketplace of ideas open and uncensored. Mark Levin, I don't know how he says it, the radio show host. Those who continue to lie about the president by accusing him of igniting or being part of a violent insurrection supported his impeachment and now intend to pursue him in a bogus trial once he's out of office will be judged harshly by history, and the ideological and political purge now underway, striking at virtually all of the fundamental principles upon which this nation was founded, will be condemned as mob rule run amok. I just hope our republic can withstand this onslaught until sensible people and possible statesmen step forward and stem this tyranny. Hear, hear, sir. The return is inevitable hard work and persistence against all odds. Despite the threats and harassment, not one Parler employee has quit. We are becoming closer and stronger as a team. That's John Metzi, the CEO of Parler. So anyway, their fight with Amazon is continuing, and I think they have at least a good case for suing Amazon for damages as far as not giving them the proper 30-day notice. Also, the fact that not a single person arrested with this so-called mob attack, the riot, insurrection, they keep using that word. Not a single person they've arrested has a Parler account. And in fact, I laughed because there was a clip of the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, talking about why they took Parler down and yada, yada, yada. And he was talking about, well, there's this violent this and that nature for, planning this insurrection, yada, yada. And they could have used the exact same argument. Well, even more so by Facebook and Twitter, because not a single person was organized for that event that was pre-organized, that was planned in advance. Not a single one of them was planned on Parler. But there's all sorts of planning that was done on Facebook. So why doesn't Tim Cook take down the Facebook app off of Apple? Why did Tim Cook take the Twitter app down from Apple? No, it's just because Parler just happens to be, more right people on the right than on the left. FTG, Tim Cook. That's the first FTG of the day. By the way, if you're not familiar with FTG Thursdays, that's when we say, fuck that guy, or fuck that gal, or fuck that group. FTG. FTG Thursday, FTG, Tim Cook, you dirty bastard. So anyway, there are a few. Oh, here's one. Dan Bongino. We will never stop fighting. Never. This fight is bigger than me, and it's bigger than Parler. If they are allowed to silence us, they can silence anyone. It stops now. Please stand with us in this fight for liberty, truth, and freedom. Hear, hear, Dan Bongino. All right, moving on. So let's get into some of the articles I pulled up for today that are absolutely unifying. It's Unity Day on the Morning Night Live. I couldn't even think of the name of my own show. I'm so freaked out about this. Now this is more just Joe Biden style. Apparently Winston Churchill is getting the boot from the Oval Office. You know, remember the big controversy when Donald Trump changed some of the statues in the Oval Office, and they tried to lie and said that he took Martin Luther King's statue out of the Oval Office. Some guy I think it was Newsweek reported that, and it was untrue. But you know, he had some different people in there. He had Andrew Jackson and Winston Churchill and a couple other things he added. Well, Joe Biden has also been doing some decorating choices. Thank you, Space Trucker, with the super chat, who says, big ol' FTG to Tim Cook. Yeah, fuck that guy. Good morning, Gamer Valine. Hi there. I didn't see you. Did I say hi to you earlier? I don't know. And also, Elizabeth Warren's boo, John Smith is in the chat. Good morning, sir. How you doing? I hope when I say that joke quite often when I see John Smith show up, I hope you all understand that joke. I hope you understand the joke what I'm saying. Elizabeth Warren's boo, our boyfriend, is in the chat. John Smith. And if you don't, well, you can ask John Smith. He'll explain it. So anyway, President Joe Biden has made a number of changes to the Oval Office decor, including notable additions to and subtractions after former President Trump left on Wednesday. Oh, yes, I did like the Rick James. Okay, I meant to show that too. My bad. Gabriel Vleen sometimes sends me some funny shit. And where is it? I know I have it here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here's I forgot. I was meant to show this earlier. Yeah, this is our Unity. There you go. Unity, right? Oh, what the hell? Stop. No, not that shit again. Here you go. Rick James. Yes, Unity. There you go. Yes, I did like the Rick James. All right. What was I doing here? Oh, the Oval Office. So anyway, all income presidents changed the decor of the largely symbolic room to offer a sense of personality and the type of presidency they hope to have. Biden is notable for the sheer number of portraits and busts of well-known American historical figures, the Washington Post reported. So you know they didn't have their tongue up his ass when they wrote that. But anyway, I digress. I've got all the little sexual references today, don't I? Ashley Williams, the deputy director of Oval Office operations, said this oval is an oval for day one. Oh, so inspiring. She said as she exclusively gave the paper a 20-minute tour before Biden came in. It was important for President Biden to walk into an Oval Office that looked like America and started to show the landscape of who is going to be as president, she added, the Post reported. The office is adorned with busts of Martin Luther King Jr., which it has been for the last 20-some years, as well as Robert F. Kennedy flanking the fireplace. Biden has referred to both men and the impact they had on the 1960s civil rights movement. Biden is also acknowledging the base of his Democratic Party. Behind the resolute desk now sits a bust of Cesar Chavez, the American socialist who became a leader for organized agricultural labor. Ha! Cesar Chavez. Now, I don't really have anything major against Cesar Chavez. I think he helped a lot of people in California when he was organizing labor for the farm laborers, right? But listen to what she said before, though. She said it was important for President Biden to walk into an Oval Office that looked like America and started to show the landscape of who he's going to be as president. A bust of Cesar Chavez, an American socialist. Now, look, Biden's not a socialist, but we'll get here. Who became leader, organized. And she says, they say he's acknowledging the base of his Democratic Party. And so behind the Resolute desk sits a bust of Cesar Chavez, right? Who organized migrant farm workers, right? You know what else Cesar Chavez was? He was adamantly against illegal immigration. There were violent things that happened with illegal immigrants. He hated illegal immigration. So it's fascinating because when you look at some of the executive orders we'll get to, a lot of stuff about illegal immigration, but Chavez hated illegal immigration. He thought it was terrible. And there were some bloody fights about that. Anyway, he also, and then let's see, placing a bust of my father in the Oval Office symbolizes the hopeful new day that is dawning for our nation, said Paul Chavez, the labor leader's middle son and president of a foundation named after his father, Newsweek reported. Aww. Biden also placed busts of Eleanor Roosevelt, the first lady of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and another civil rights icon, Rosa Parks, which, cool, good for him. There's also a sculpture of a horse. Excuse me. Real quick. Good morning, Rod Line. I did not see you here. Let's see, and I'll get to that in a second. There's also a sculpture of a horse and rider of the Chiricahua Apache tribe, which once belonged to the late Senator Daniel Inouye of Hawaii, as well as a painting of Benjamin Franklin, which the Post reports is intended to represent Biden's interest in following science. But wait a minute, Benjamin Franklin?
You're fucking a white male!
Okay. Paired paintings of President George Washington and Abraham Lincoln also hang in the Oval Office, with a bust of former Senator Daniel Webster, who once vigorously defended the Union. The light gold drapes. Okay, so this is, I don't know, this is the BizPack review. He did remove the flags of the branches of the military, though, that Trump displayed behind the Resolute desk. Biden has installed an American flag and another with a presidential seal. And he also removed Andrew Jackson that Trump had hung. Both he and Jackson were as populists. Also, Jackson was the first president to be directly elected. He once proposed eliminating the Electoral College. Anyway, so let's see. But yeah, he took out the bust of Winston Churchill. So go figure. Anyway, thank you, Rod Line, with the 2-spot on the on Streamlabs, who says, sorry, off topic, you said you worked in the bar industry. Did you ever come across the video game Golden Tee Golf? Yes, but not in the bars that I worked in, but I used to play Golden Tee a lot. I like that game. But yeah, no, I bartended at a Playboy Club when I was in college. I bartended for TGI Fridays for several years, and then also other just various gigs. But yeah, no, I was in that industry for a while when I was young. And I'd like to play golf. So, when you're in your early 20s and you bartend at night, you make a lot of cash, and then you golf 3 or 4 days a week, because the most popular question any given day when you're not working during the day is, hey, who has a tee time? So anyway, so yeah, but I am familiar with but real golf. Golden Tee is a fun game too, and it's actually one of the bars that we go to here in my town has Golden Tee. So just FYI. Anyway, we all know the horse for the horse tranquilizer Hunter enjoys. Oh, good Lord. Anyway, so yeah, there's some Oval Office breakup. Now, here's back to this. So here's some of the unity that we've been talking about. Apparently, there are some people. Oh, good morning, the one who. And let's see. There's Golden Tee game at the bar I work. Yeah, it's a fun game. I used to play it once in a while. Not a lot, but I enjoyed it. Ben Franklin was more than a man of science. Yeah, right, Tarai? Oh my gosh, yeah, because Biden's going to follow science. You know, just real quick, that whole stupid science thing he said. Hey, before I get to that, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, with the Streamlabs donation. It says they must have taken lessons on how to advance in career in government from the current VIP, or from the current VP.
That's right.
She has over 30 years experience in proper handling of old man sack, as well as avoiding teeth contact with the shaft. Oh my God. I'm going to try that. You know, I'm just going to read them today. Unless my sensibilities tell me no. And today I just don't feel like I have any sense. I'm going to try and read this again. This is a quote, by the way. They must have taken lessons on how to advance a career in government from the current VP.
That's right.
She has over 30 years experience in properly handling of old man sack, as well as avoiding teeth contact with the shaft.
That's right.
Again, that's a quote in Minecraft. There you go. Like I said, she as Jericho Green says, she got horizontal to make her career go vertical. And there you go. Now she's the vice president of the United States, soon to be president of the United States, as soon as Joe has that illness that they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, all right. So let's talk about some more unity. And this is actually about unity. Oh no, we don't want Biden. We want revenge. Antifa attacks the Democratic headquarters in Portland. Oh, I'm sorry. Who attacked the Democratic headquarters in Portland? You mean that the right-wing militias that were supposed to be wreaking havoc on all the state capitals weren't out there causing violence and mayhem? Oh no, it was the idea known as Antifa. I wonder if Joe Biden will do anything about that. Good morning, Shaitan's advocate. What's up? What are my light teeth? Ooh, what's wrong with you, dude? Data Wasteland, how you doing? Anyway, a veritable welcoming committee of rioting far-left BLM Antifa extremists in Portland and Seattle harassed locals, smashed businesses, and even vandalized the Democratic Party of Oregon's headquarters during and after President Joe Biden's inauguration Wednesday. In Portland, the left-wing extremists rioted while chanting, "Fuck Joe Biden," and carrying signs that read, quote, "We don't want Biden, we want revenge." Well, I found it. That's pretty damn unifying. Despite ignoring months and months and months of ongoing riots in Portland, and mainstream media predictably reported on these riots, likely because this time their victims included the elite members of the Democratic Party. In Portland, this is a quote from the New York Times. Listen to this, because this is new for the New York Times. I think they're just figuring this out. I'm telling you, listen to this. This is from the New York freaking Times. In Portland, about 200 people clad in black marched to the local Democratic headquarters, where some of them smashed windows and tipped over garbage containers, lighting contents of one on fire. Were these right-wing extremists? Oh, no. It was just an idea. Of course, the Times and other left-wing outlets still couldn't resist framing the extremists as, quote, protesters and highlighting their grievances over alleged racial injustice, economic inequality, federal law enforcement, and corporate power. Oh, so it's cool to break shit if it's over something they like. Now, when it came to the right-wing extremists who stormed the U.S. Capitol earlier this month, their grievances were not giving such a flattering treatment. See the attacks on Democratic headquarters below. So here's some video. Let me I'm gonna go full screen on this. Here's a peaceful protest. Oh, they just look at this. This is some of the damage. They're still breaking shit. I don't see any faces. Oh, yep, there they go. Yes, just some, just the
Democratic Party of Oregon at Portland headquarters.
What's that say? I don't know what that says. Fuck PPB. That's the Portland Police Bureau. All right, so yes, demonstrators of peace. Let's see what's on this other one here. All right, stop that one. Let's see, Julio Rosa. Here on the ground in Portland, Oregon. For townhall.com, a group of Antifa marchers just attacked the city's Democratic Party office. They broke windows and spray painted the building. Some of them had a hard time breaking the windows. Well, because they're little bitches, that's right. Where are the cops? Oh, come on. Mr. No, how would you even consider talking about the cops on these peaceful protesters? That would just provoke them. You know that. We all know that would just provoke them. So fuck Biden, still something. I don't know what that said. I guess let me go back and see what let's see what the graffiti says. Hold on. So we got fuck Biden, ACAB. Yes, all cops are bastards. Yes, that's one of their favorites. What's this one over here say? I think it said, well, I think it was trying to say fuck Biden, still fascist. I don't know what that. Yeah, something still fascist. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Was there something over here that we could see? I can't see it. But these morons are having trouble breaking the windows, even with the steel pole. Oh, they figured it out. Now they got something. Huh. Now notice the photographer here, and also they have a dumpster too. That's one of their favorite things are dumpsters. They like setting dumpsters on fire in front of things. All right, well, okay, I guess that's enough of that. Let's see, the group left after Portland police rolled up. Some photos of the aftermath. Let's see, let's get some pictures here. I'll leave this one as this link open. This whole thread has the video, so I'll leave this one open so it'll be in the tabs today. But here's some of the damage. Obviously smashed windows. They got a little anarchy sign there. Oh, it's a prerequisite. Adam Richard. Oh, faggot proof windows. Oh, good Lord. Hello, Lord Stanhope, by the way. There we go. Fuck Biden. I don't understand. I thought Trump was the cause of all their problems, and now they're destroying Democrat shit. I don't understand it. Maybe it's just their. Well, I don't know. Maybe they just seem unhappy. Don't they just seem unhappy to you? It's very unusual. It's very, very unusual. All right, let's move on. This thing is still, oh my gosh, there's a lot of things being archived today. Well, I'll get that article later. So now, like I said, there's a whole bunch of tabs here, but I have wait, how can they destroy their homes like that? Those poor trash homes. Whatever. The dumpsters. Good morning, Cairo. How you doing, my friend? So this is just an article in Front Page Magazine by Matthew Vadum, not to be confused with who's the creationist cat dude, Vadim, whatever. Anyway, as Joe Biden. Now these are not my words. I'm going to just tell Facebook, or what's Facebook? Not Facebook. I don't. YouTube. I'm going to tell YouTube right now that I'm just quoting here, just in case you decide that I am, if I am questioning election integrity, Wink, wink. Anyway, as Joe Biden, an illegitimate president, was sworn in at the funeral inauguration ceremony surrounded by thousands of U.S. troops, Democrats were busy plotting and scheming and planning reprisals against Republicans for doing nothing other than supporting his duly elected predecessor. These anti-democratic Democrats have been driven to utter madness by the events of January 6th, even though what happened that day does not compare at all, good morning, Renee Miette, with the months of Antifa and Black Lives Matter murdering people and burning down cities to protest the fentanyl-caused death in police custody of George Floyd. Again, YouTube, I'm quoting here, the drug-addicted career criminal who resisted arrest. Even the claim that 5 people were killed in January 6th is a lie that the left wing is using as propaganda against Orange Man Bad and his backers. 3 of the people, Trump supporters, who died during or after the rally died of medical emergencies. Kevin Greason, 55, from Alabama, who had high blood pressure, experienced a heart attack in the midst of the excitement, his family said. Benjamin Phillips, 50, from Pennsylvania, had a stroke. Media reports indicate Rosalind Boylan, 34, from Georgia, was trampled by the mob, but it is unclear what actually happened. A purportedly authentic redacted police incident report in case number 2100279 states that Boylan was witness to collapse during the protest demonstrations at about 1700 hours. Despite all life-saving efforts, Sub 1 died and was pronounced dead by Dr. Pyle at 1809 hours. Trump supporter Ashley Babbitt from California was shot to death under suspicious circumstances by a police officer in the U.S. Capitol. Another police officer, Brian David Sicknick, 42, reportedly died after being hit in the head with a fire extinguisher, but an investigative report by National File's Patrick Howley suggests the event didn't happen and that the policeman succumbed to a pre-existing medical condition. But lies at the service of social justice are noble and justified, according to the left. The same goes for violence committed in the name of social justice. As everyone knows, punishing people for doing bad things is not part of the Democratic Party's agenda. Violence against disfavored individuals and institutions is condoned and even praised because it's simply a part of retail politics for the left. They don't go after their friends. This explains why Democrats have shown no interest in going after Black Lives Matter, which the DNC officially endorsed, and Antifa, the idea, as the two movements' activists assaulted Trump supporters and firebombed courthouses and ICE facilities. They don't care that leftists attacked and threw fireworks at Trump supporters around Black Lives Matter Plaza, the fake public square DC's Democrat mayor installed outside the White House that honors the terrorists and murderers of the BLM movement. On November 14th, after the Million MAGA March, they've already forgotten about the Bernie Sanders supporter, James Hodgkinson, who came close to who shot Representative Steve Scalise at a congressional baseball game, pushing the demonstrable falsehood that the 45th president of the United States incited a January 6th riot at the United States Capitol in order to derail the congressional certification of electoral college votes and usher in a Trump-Reichen, or something left-wingers on Capitol Hill and across America are screaming for blood. These incipient persecutions emanate from the very top. Biden, who even before his installation as president refused to halt a divisive, pointless, fact-free second Trump impeachment, questioned the patriotism of U.S. troops now occupying Washington, D.C., and sparked a new immigration crisis at the border by signaling an amnesty. Recently compared Senators Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz to Nazi propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels because they objected to the Electoral College votes from states Biden's supposedly won, quote unquote. Biden said they're a part of the big lie. It's one thing for one man, one woman to repeat a lie over and over and over again, Biden said. By the way, Trump said that before he ran, if you say it enough, I'm going to convince you. I'll say it enough. The press is bad. The press is bad. The press is bad. The press is bad. You know, I don't remember Donald Trump saying that. Anyone remember Donald Trump saying that? Anybody? But anyway, Biden said there are decent people in the U.S. who actually believe these quote-unquote lies. But there's still, these Democrats are being basically asked to leave. Senator Chris Coons, Delaware, demanded Hawley and Cruz resign, but interestingly enough, Senator Dianne Feinstein rejected calls to punish these two senators and defended their right to object to presidential elections. Well, it's right there in the freaking Constitution. Duh. Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat from Connecticut, and some of his colleagues want Hawley and Cruz to be censured, but also want the other Republican senators who objected to certification to be disciplined. For what? Hello, Thomas Cleaver. For what? Look, y'all, regardless, and if I want to say this to my leftist friends or Democrat friends or whatever, that what they did, whether you like it or not, is written in the Constitution. What they did was not, as I keep hearing from these idiots, unconstitutional or insurrection or subversion or sedition. If just like the last three elections were a Republican one, where several Democrats went in and objected to the Electoral College, some for less evidenced reasons than these current Congresspeople and senators have done so. But because it's against Joe Biden, they need to be disciplined. These other 6 GOP lawmakers are Senators Cindy Hyde-Smith of Mississippi, John Kennedy of Louisiana, Cynthia Loomis of Wyoming, Roger Marshall of Kansas, Rick Scott of Florida, and Tommy Tuberville of Alabama. Oh, and also at least 60 lawyers have signed a formal complaint asking the Office of Chief Disciplinary Counsel at the Missouri Supreme Court to investigate Hawley, an attorney for his electoral objections, according to the Hill. His constitutionally allowed electoral objections. The erratically, perpetually fence-straddling Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia wants to use the 14th Amendment to expel Hawley and Cruz from the Senate. Remember what Hawley and Cruz did, whether you agree with it or not, are written in the Constitution. And he wants to use the 14th Amendment, which is the kind of the sedition thing. You know, it's not sedition. They have a right to do that as senators of the United States. But according to Manchin, that should be a consideration when asked if the 14th Amendment should be invoked. He understands that. Ted is a very bright individual, and I get along fine with Ted, but what he did was totally outside the realm of our responsibilities or privileges. Oh, really? Because I'm pretty sure it's in the Constitution, but whatever. The thin reed Manchin relies on is a section of the 14th Amendment that states no lawmaker holding office shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such a disability. So he's saying that Ted Cruz and Hawley engaged in insurrection or rebellion against. Oh my God. Oh my God. Meanwhile, paranoia is setting in among Democratic lawmakers as they try to get Republican lawmakers investigated and expelled from Congress for outrageous acts of treachery, such as, wait for it, giving constituents tours of the Capitol, Offering zero evidence of actual wrongdoing, Representative Mikey Sherrill, New Jersey, smeared her GOP colleagues, accusing them of abetting an alleged Trump-led conspiracy by showing people around what Nancy Pelosi called the people's, quote, temple of democracy. Yeah. Yeah. The malicious j'accuse Sherrill hurled at her opponents is what, until recently, left-wingers called McCarthyism. Yeah, isn't it, though? Also, Sherrill was one of 34 House members who signed a January 13th letter addressed to Timothy Blodgett. Blodgett, I said that wrong. Jennifer A. Hemingway and Yogananda Pittman, respectively, the acting House Sergeant at Arms, acting Sergeant at Arms, and acting Chief of the U.S. Capitol Police, urging action be taken against their as yet identified Republican colleagues. So they want them arrested. Representative Stephanie Murr, Democrat from Florida, wants a commission to investigate the events of January 6th and has introduced legislation to prevent Trump supporters who attended Stop the Steal events from obtaining security clearances. Even if it does not constitute a listen to this. Even if it does not constitute a criminal offense, attendance at an event designed to overturn the results of a presidential election and prevent the peaceful transfer of power raises serious questions about an applicant's suitability for a security clearance, she said in a press release. One of the left's favorite targets, the First Amendment, guaranteed advocacy rights of their opponents, is under attack. Senator Ron Wyden, Democrat from Oregon, likely incoming chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, wants to weaponize the IRS against nonprofit groups that organized the Save America pep rally that took place on January 6th. It was only a few years ago, by the way, that Lois Lerner, the Obama IRS targeted conservative nonprofits. Yeah, that's a great idea, Ron Wyden. Let's go through another Lois Lerner scandal. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That was the, who's that guy? The brother who was president, the Obama administration, which had no scandals. Now, Wyden does not mention a group by name in his hyperbolous strewn January 15th letter to IRS Commissioner Charles P. Redding, but he cites media reports that do. Among the groups mentioned in those reports are Women for America First, Turning Point Action, and Rule of Law Defense Fund. Last week, a violent insurrection at the U.S. Capitol sought to block certification of President-elect Biden's Electoral College victory. Gee, when I see... Okay, I'm not going to read any more of this article, but when I see arguments like that, are any of these idiots aware of what went on during the last presidential inauguration? Anyone remember that? Anyone remember the protest, the burning cars, the people, rioting in the streets? Anyone remember that besides me? I swear there's all kinds of stuff like that when Trump was being inaugurated. But the rest of this article shows just more of this incredible, just full court press on conservatives. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy. In fact, here's a good quote. Democrats are not celebrating their election victories, Tucker Carlson notes. In fact, no one in the Democratic Party seems happy, he says. Instead of taking victory laps, they are plotting revenge against the people they just beat. They're thinking of new ways to injure, humiliate, and degrade their political opponents, make it impossible for them to work again, throw them in jail, and destroy their lives. The leaders of the Democratic Party have now decided that 74 million Trump voters were just wrong or misguided. They didn't simply back the wrong guy or have incorrect opinions or failed to see obvious truths. No, the threat they pose is graver and more serious than that. These 74 million Trump voters are, in fact, terrorists. They're a looming physical threat to the rest of us and must be dealt with in the way that you deal with threats like that. PDawg J20 riots happened before 2020, and Asatsu said the reset has already happened, so they don't care. Yeah, I know. I know. All right, let's quickly continue. By the way, FTG to all those Democrats. Thank you, Gaber Valine. And I haven't been keeping up here. Gaber Valine, by the way.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Who says you're supposed to declare international contacts and financial dealings for security clearances. Did Joe Biden? I don't know. That's a very good question, Gabriel Valine. I'll say it. By the way, she said you're supposed to declare international contacts and financial dealings for security clearance. Did Joe Biden? Yeah, well, it is Joe Biden. So, Now this one threw me. This is broken clock theory right here. Because I wasn't expecting this. Representative Rashida Tlaib, also known as Rashida Taliban, emerges as a voice of reason, and nothing makes sense anymore. So if you've been following politics for the past few years, you probably didn't see this coming. Here's what she said. I am leading the call for national security powers to not be expanded in light of the attack on our nation's capital that occurred 2 weeks ago, as such measures often lead to the erosion of American civil liberties. Broken clock. Where have you been? Here's her letter. Here's her letter. This is pretty amazing. This is Rashida Tlaib of all people. So she writes this letter to the Congress, to Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy, and Charles Schumer. Who's in this letter? Hang on a second. Someone else signed this letter with her. This is pretty okay. These are, oh my God, these are leftists. Oh, hang on a second. This is pretty much the squad, but this came from Rashida Tlaib. She wrote the letter, and Jamal Bowman, Pramila Jayapal, Ayanna Presley, Ilhan Omar, Alexandra Cortez, Barbara Lee, and Ro Khanna. I'm shocked. But she has her examples. You know what? Instead of, I'm not going to read this, but I'll leave this page open. It's hard to argue with that tweet as written. I'm leading a call for national security powers to not be expanded in light of the attack on our nation's capital that occurred 2 weeks ago, as such measures often lead to the erosion of American civil liberties. Lead on. We're in a moment of great opportunity for the opportunistic expansion of government power and weaponizing it for partisan causes. And that's not good. Pelosi seemed to be leading that charge, which also is not good. She's powerful, hungry for yet more power, deranged, and deeply out of touch with about half the country. If you read through the letter, you'll see some flawed reasoning and stolen bases in there. There's signatories, which include the squad and other radicals, suggest that QAnon and others haven't been cracked down on because of systemic racism. No, because they're just morons. Up to January 6th, that Horn guy and his weird pals hadn't caused anywhere near the level of damage that 6 months of Antifa and BLM riots caused in numerous cities around the country. We know that one fellow who's been arrested in connection with the Capitol riot isn't a Trump supporter at all. He's a leftist agitator who leads a group of, as few as one, from the looks of it, called Insurgents USA. He's one of the many arrested. He wanted to yank Trump out of the White House without an election and burn this shit down. Most appear to be Trump supporters from the fringes, not the mainstream, but not all. The leftist insurrectionists are still rioting and damaging Portland and trying to shut Andy Ngo down for telling the truth about them. Another leftist insurrectionist took over a major swath of downtown Seattle for a while. Others toppled statues and caused riots that burned the whole city blocks and destroyed minority-owned businesses and ended minority lives. Did they matter? But the signatories are probably fearful that any crackdown will, like the multiple torpedoes that the left fired at Trump over the years, circle back on them and their allies. Well, that's probably part of it too, because where's most of the domestic terrorism coming from? Oh, those black-clad idiots in Portland and Seattle and a few other cities. Anyway, but the fact that that's not an unreasonable expectation, several of them have made tweets and statements that can be reasonably construed as either encouraging riots or waving in a friendly way at riots as long as the rioters are on the left. Oh, that's right. There's a little bit of ass covering here. I didn't even think of that. And the letter does not in any way address AOC's call to invade the southern states in the name of liberating them from limited government, relatively open economies, lighter regulations, and in general, more freedom and prosperity that our countrymen and women are allowed to enjoy in the blue states. It's the only way, AOC says. Sure, if you're wound up for instigating civil war and genocide, which no one should be, whatever. But anyway, the fact that... I'm sorry, this is a little broken clock theory. I don't believe they talk out of both sides of the mouth. They will be first to vote for it. That could be. But any kind of expansion on surveillance in the U.S. Generally hurts those who are most likely to cause issues, I will call it. And I think they fear what this will do to the people they agree with. Yeah, exactly. It's going to bite them in the ass. I'm just telling you. So anyway, I will leave the link to the tweet up here that has the full text of that. There's some more articles here that I'm not going to get all the way through, but Democrats are framing Americans as domestic terrorists so they can do to us what they did to Trump in Spygate. They've moved swiftly to use the January 6th U.S. Capitol mayhem to push for a frightening expansion of federal surveillance and police powers under their sole control for 2 years, smearing anyone who voted for Donald Trump as a potential terrorist. Joe Biden himself called the Capitol protesters, quote, domestic terrorists, end quote, and, quote, insurrectionists, end quote, and said his administration will prioritize legislation to increase federal crackdowns on what Democrats consider to be domestic terrorists. Really? The main problem with that is that Democrats openly link Republican Party affiliation and mainstream conservatives' ideas to be to domestic terrorism, extremism, white supremacy. Oh, gosh, I'm having a hard time. I've got Joe Biden tongue today. And other evils to the left. Vanguard of the party that Biden administration is marching behind in both personal and policy, simply supporting lower taxes and believing that hard work can help you get ahead is enough to mark you as a racist or a white supremacist. Oh, wow. I guess never mind. These redefined racists and white supremacists now face increased FBI surveillance, discrimination in military and other careers, suspension of their right to own guns lawfully, based only on another person complaining that they are a threat, public harassment and smears, government and business pressure campaigns, and investigations, and more. Which, they quote Ding Dong on here, that chief... As usual, I'll just read this this paragraph and we'll move on. As Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been a canary in the coal mine, the New Yorker went on Instagram January 12th to hysterically claim that she felt endangered in a safe room during the Capitol anarchy because Republican members of the Congress were also there. She baselessly accused them of being violent white supremacists solely due to their political affiliation. This is as stupid as claiming the average Democrat is an arson risk simply because she vocalized support this summer for Black Lives Matter. And then this was followed by another Democratic member of Congress being given massive media platforms to accuse their Republican colleagues of showing the rioters how to find and hurt them in the days before the latest Capitol violence erupted. Their only evidence was seeing Republican members of Congress in the halls of their own workplace with what turned out to be family members, including children. Remember the tours they were talking about? Hello, Renovaccio. Anyway, there's a lot more in this article, but just the stupidity and Stephen. Oh my God, this asshole. This is his name, Stephen Cohen, I think. Who is? Let's see here. Anyway, here's the quote from Cohen. Give me a second. Listen to this shit.
On my Twitter.
Hang on, there we go.
On my Twitter account, I guess, and people were reminding people of Anwar Sadat and Indira Gandhi, who were killed by their own people. I was thinking the Guard is 90 some odd %, I believe, male.
You're fucking a white
only
male!
About 20% of white males voted for Biden. You got to figure that in the Guard, which is predominantly more conservative, and I see that on my social media, and we know it, they're probably not more than 25% of the people that are there protecting us who voted for Biden. The other 75% are in the class that would be the large class of folks who might
questioning
want
their
to,
loyalty to the United States and their duty is paramount. Anyway, let's move on. Another article that I put in here, just talking about how they might be asking for papers pretty soon. I'll leave that one up, but I'm not going to go through it today. And also the establishment wants you to know that Trump is just like bin Laden. Yes, the powers that he has through his impressive dog whistle lips and how he instigated, how he incited a riot. By the way, I still wish that they would do try to charge him criminally for incitement so that case could be laughed out of court. Anyway, other news, Antifa, yes, this is more, they also blocked streets in Seattle, set fires. Antifa and Black Lives Matter protesters joined forces in Seattle to block traffic in the downtown area. A video shows the protesters setting a large fire in close proximity to several commuter buses. I don't think the protest was big in Seattle, but here is some video. This obviously is not a huge protest, but they did set fire in the middle of the street like they often do. And then, let's see here. Sorry about that. Let's close that one. And this is more from the KOMO News helicopter. So they set a little bonfire in the street, blocked traffic for a little bit. Not a whole lot. Looks like maybe 100, 200 people tops, but still the requisite black hoodies and other shit. There you go. And then they burned a American flag in the street. So it's what they do. No cops, no prison, total abolition. That's what they want. No cops, no prison, total abolition. Well, when your neighbor shoots you in the ass on a drug deal gone bad, you can say, oh, well, no cops, no prison. Anyway. And then also, there's just more footage. Here's the New York Post article. Leftist protesters wreak havoc in Portland, vandalize Oregon Democratic headquarters. We already showed some video of that. Everyone was gushing over this Amanda Gorman, apparently the junior poet laureate of the United States. Good morning, Noble Valor, by the way. I didn't see the poem, but they're saying that, some people are saying that it was an attack on Trump in a way. Near the end of Joe Biden's inauguration, 22-year-old Amanda Gorman offered a poem called The Hill We Climb to punctuate the event. She performed extremely well, and her poem was powerful and quite nicely written, but it was something more than that. Hers were the most honest remarks of the day in terms of what America, or what what the American left actually believes. These lines here's the lines that stood out as rather important, especially compared to the other speakers. And this is from the quote from the poem. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it. Would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. While democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. Now, I have a little problem with that. That's last line, but while democracy could be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. I think if perhaps the guy that you're referring to in this poem had actually been a dictator and was able to pull it off, it absolutely could be defeated. Now, I don't know if permanently is a good word, but there you go. So whatever, young lady, even though I guess her poem was pretty good. And then this guy, some Democrat who failed in their candidacy, says that North Carolina Republican Madison Cawthorn is worse than 95% of Gitmo detainees. Now, this is Madison Cawthorn, the new representative from North Carolina, who is a war vet and lost use of his legs. Failed Dem candidate and former Gitmo prosecutor says there's far more evidence of Congressman Madison Cawthorn's guilt than there was of guilt for 95% of detainees. Oh, this is the one. Isn't this the guy, the writer who apparently, listen to this sentence again. There's far more evidence of Congressman Madison Cawthorn's guilt than there was of guilt for 95% of the detainees at Gitmo. Really? So are you admitting that you falsely detained some of the prisoners at Gitmo, 95% of them? In November, Representative Madison Cawthorn of North Carolina became the youngest member of Congress. You may remember the inspiring speech he gave at the Republican National Convention where he explained, he was paralyzed from a car accident, where he explained that a car accident left him paralyzed from the waist down. His Democratic opponent just proved that North Carolina voters made the right choice. Colonel Morris Davis, an Air Force veteran who served as a prosecutor at Guantanamo Bay, compared Cawthorn to terrorist detainees. From the Daily Caller, former Guantanamo prosecutor says Madison Cawthorn is more guilty than 95% of detainees. Colonel Morris Davis claimed Monday that there was more evidence of Republican North Carolina Representative Madison Cawthorn's guilt than that of his former detainees. Davis, who lost the bid for North Carolina's 11th congressional district to Cawthorn, in November cited his work as the former chief prosecutor at Guantanamo. I had to say Guantanamo 3 times there. Anyway, some of the responses. And anyway, he calls for the removal of Madison Cawthorn. So, anyway, he lost. He lost to this guy. So whatever. Sorry, my brain is not working too well. What was this one here? I've got a couple minutes here. Oh yeah, this guy talking about violence, right? Oh, by the way, what's that guy's name? Can we get an FTG for, is it Mo Davis? Yeah, FTG Mo Davis. FTG Mo Davis. Fuck that guy. Speaking of unity, yes, more unity. U-N-I-T-Y, U-N-I-T-Y. Ever remember that song? That was Ladies First or something? No, I don't know what song that was. California activists charged for ramming a car into Trump supporters. Now accused of beating two men at another protest. Way to go. A California woman facing criminal charges for ramming a car into a crowd of Trump supporters in September has now been accused of beating 2 men with a rod at another protest a month earlier. Orange County District Attorney's Office announced Wednesday. Tatiana Rita Turner, 40 of Long Beach, will be charged with a total of 13 felonies in connection with the two protests, prosecutors said. Turner made headlines nearly 4 months ago when counter-protesters crashed a March 4th equality demonstration against alleged police brutality that she helped organize. She was arrested on September 26, 2020, after speeding away from a group of people that had surrounded her car. Orange County DA's office on Wednesday said Turner would be charged with additional crimes stemming from her alleged behavior at another protest in Seal Beach in August of 2020. So I thought this was more recently. I didn't catch the dates, but anyway, so at least somebody's getting arrested. She's also tried to run people down in her car. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. The ultimate irony. I'm going to leave this one up. It's just called The Ultimate Irony, How a Threatened Swamp Fulfilled Trump's Doomed Dream to Crack Down on Riots. Oh, but the wrong riots. Anyway, you guarantee she's getting off early, huh? It's possible. I think she should. Yeah, I'm more like throwing the bookshelf at her. For 6 months, President Donald Trump pushed for a harsher crackdown on the riots raging across the United States, facing constant pushback from officials worried that would further inflame the chaos and lead to needless death. As Joe Biden takes the oath of office and Trump exits Washington, the outgoing president's dream is finally being realized. Ironically, too late to change a damn thing. I took you back to 8th grade right now with that UNITY. Yeah, okay. Oh, it was clean. It was. I didn't say Queen Latifah, right? I know. I can't think of the name of the song though. Over the past week, somewhere between 15 and 25,000 troops have taken to the streets of Washington. Together with the police, they have formed an approximately 11-mile perimeter around the president-elect and members of Congress, even blockading the bridges to Virginia. Now, I thought bringing out National Guard troops to quell a protest. Well, I thought that was what's the word?
That's racist!
Oh yeah, racist. Anyway, let's see. Checkpoints are manned, guardsmen are vetted, and panicked insurrection disinformation is bandied about the corporate media like so many sparkles in the wind. Yeah, and Nancy Pelosi even wanted machine gunners out there with they were going to point loaded guns at people. I can't believe that.
That's racist!
So here's just an example of Nancy Pelosi's hypocrisy. From the Daily Caller, when it's your community versus when it's their community. So here it is. Nancy Pelosi on the July 17th, 20, where she says, unidentified stormtroopers, unmarked cars, kidnapping protesters and causing severe injuries in response to graffiti. These are not the actions of a democratic republic. DHS.gov's actions in Portland undermine its mission. Trump and his stormtroopers must be stopped. Oh, and later she says, even during this dark time in the history of America, we find reasons for hope. It was my privilege today personally to thank the members of the National Guard who are working to protect our nation's capital. Thank you for your commitment to American democracy. Da, 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 da. Anyway. Thank you. Oh, one of our recurring sponsors is in the house with a donation through Streamlabs. BBC Rentals. Welcome to the new woke decade. It's time for the white bitches to prove that you're not a racist. BBC Rentals will set you on the right path to not be a racist Trumper unless you're gay, because gay motherfuckers are racist. BBC Rentals, unless you're racist. Yes. Thank you, BBC Rentals, our ongoing sponsor. So anyway, Nancy hates them if they're pointed at the wrong people, and so you go. Moving on. Donald Trump, obviously, as he left yesterday from Washington to the song of My Way by Frank Sinatra. Thanks for pointing that out, by the way. Apparently, people lined the streets at Mar-a-Lago in Florida to welcome Donald Trump home. Supporters of President Donald Trump lined the streets of Mar-a-Lago Wednesday and welcomed the president to where he will be spending his time post-presidency. The now former president left the nation's capital Wednesday morning before the inauguration ceremony for President Biden. Trump is the first president. He's the first president to skip an incoming president's inauguration since 1869, when Andrew Johnson skipped Ulysses Grant's ceremony after being impeached. WOFL reported. Along with former First Lady Melania Trump, Donald Trump left the White House shortly after 8 a.m. Quote, "Goodbye, I love you, we'll be back in some form," the former president told supporters before boarding Air Force One for the last time to head to his estate in Florida. Well, not necessarily the last time. If, he plays his cards right, and maybe if he gets elected in 2024, there's rumors he might do that, but I don't know. So I don't know if the last time in Air Force One. A line of supporters waited for him in Mar-a-Lago, holding signs such as "Welcome home, we love you, President Trump," and "President Trump won." The South Florida Sun Sentinel reported that Trump supporters had been lining up for hours along Southern Boulevard between Palm Beach Airport and Trump's resort to wish him well. Now, here's an interesting thing. So they say he's going, what did I say? Ulysses. Oh, Ulysses? What called Ulysses S. Grant. It's not Ulysses? I don't know. Whatever. It's President Grant. There's the neighbors at Mar-a-Lago. Apparently there's some agreement that Trump made when he bought Mar-a-Lago about not having guests become permanent there. But what's interesting about that is, can they consider Trump a guest if he owns the property? So it's going to be interesting. But right now, that's where he's going to do a stay. Also, thank you, Piccolo, for the big red thumbs up. I could make a joke there too, but I'm not going to. Anyway, why the fuck do you think there will be another election? Yeah. Oh no, not currently. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, that takes me back. I remember watching that show when I was a kid. And if you know the show, raise your hand. All right. I'm not sure what was this one. Oh, Biden calls Trump's private letter to him very generous. Yeah, President Trump left the new president a letter like this, become kind of a pseudo tradition ever since Bush or George H.W. Bush did it for Bill Clinton. So the reporters were bugging him about, well, what does the letter say? What does the letter say? And he just said that it was very generous, but he declined to divulge exactly what was said. And for some reason, all the news media are writing articles about this, trying to decide what it says. Now, some of the chatter on Twitter was like, some people are like, well, if it was a nice letter, then Trump probably didn't write it because he doesn't have a generous bone in his body. Well, I don't know about that. Anyway, Biden's inauguration day, America's dark winter begins. Yeah, remember Biden kept saying it's going to be a dark winter? Well, he's probably right. Some of the executive orders, I haven't even gotten to that. Holy shit. Maybe we'll talk about that on Saturday. This is why I wanted to read this. Joe Biden was sworn in as America's 46th president Wednesday. Far from being the start of a new era of reconciliation, the ceremony will only accelerate the disunity that his party and its media division have whipped up. God, please have mercy on the United States of America. A few days removed from the 2020 election, Biden warned, as the coronavirus count was nearing 10 million, that the country was facing a, quote, very dark winter, end quote. We don't disagree. Bleak days are ahead, but we disagree on the reason. This winter and at least the next 2 years are going to be grim as Democrats, with the eager support of the legacy media, are going to continue to rip the country apart. Now here's some examples. There's not much healing when. 1. Biden less than 2 weeks ago compared Donald Trump and Republican Senators Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley to Nazi propagandist Joseph Goebbels. Yes, I feel the unity already. Number 2, Democratic member of the House is obviously pleased that Congress is looking into creating an investigative commission to rein in the media, meaning, of course, the few independent outlets that refuse to operate as the Democratic Party's marketing department. The third one, the inauguration, infected by a climate of fear and loathing because the Democrats won't stop feeding the narrative that Trump and his supporters are deplorable insurrectionists. 4, the bright lights of the media want to know how we're going to really almost deprogram these people who have signed up for the cult of Trump and are agitating for a cleansing of the Trump movement. 5th, a political analyst from the Democratic Party, favorite MSNBC, says, quote, MAGA terrorists, largely those of the right with whom he disagrees, are much more dangerous than Al-Qaeda after 9/11, in part since he didn't have cable news channels endorsing his worldview 24/7, spreading his hate-filled ideology and vicious, deluded conspiracy theories to millions of Americans. And finally, as a cybersecurity expert, insists we're going to have to figure out the OANN and Newsmax problems, referring to a pair of cable outlets that are alternatives to the hard left cheerleading regularly seen on broadcast networks, CNN, MSNBC, and others. So anyway, that's kind of how they feel and why they're going to be coming after you. All right, I'm going to have to call this a day. Thank you, Select a Boy.
Yeah, boy.
For the donation through Super Chat. It says, today on episode of Days of Our Capital, 42,000 pipeline jobs gone with a stroke of a pen. Yeah, that was, So, yeah, it's interesting. His first, so Biden's first executive orders. One, killing jobs for Americans by taking away the ability of the Keystone Pipeline to continue to be built. And then also his basically a plan for amnesty. It's not necessarily a Reagan-type amnesty, but making a pathway to citizenship for the 11 million, which I bet it's about 40 million actually, illegal aliens or undocumented workers or whatever the hell you want to call them. By leaving that, by signing that, his first priorities are killing American jobs and illegal aliens. Now, on Black Twitter, or at least interesting, I saw Tariq Nasheed make a point that, remember when, he didn't use this point exactly, but remember when Ice Cube went and visited with President Trump and they came up with the Platinum Plan, and then he said, yeah, the Democrats said, we'll see you after the election. And also the fact that African-American Black, whatever, or as Uncle Hotep would say, the Akata the Shine, are the most loyal constituency to the Democratic Party and Joe Biden, right? And they think, Stacey Abrams got all those people in Georgia to make sure he had a Senate majority and whatever, and all these black people working so hard for Joe Biden. And one of the first things he signs? Executive orders helping illegal aliens. Or undocumented workers, or whatever the hell you want to call them. And nothing for black people. Anyway, thank you again, Selected Boy. And also thank you, Picalo, who says Biden hurt both our countries with Keystone. Yeah, Justin Trudeau was on in the news saying that, no, that's not a good thing. That's hurts both our economies. That they killed the Keystone Pipeline. That's killing jobs on both ends of that street. And one end of that street is in our neighbor to the north. So, yeah, not a good thing. All right, just for the articles that are left that I haven't gotten to, that's the Katie Hopkins. I read a quote from this Katie Hopkins article of her watching the inauguration. Also, the other here, Biden's inaugural speech, banal, slurred, and slightly vicious. Although Chris Fox thought it was the best inaugural address I've ever heard. Here's Chris.
I thought it was a great speech. I've been listening to these inaugural addresses since 1961. John F. Kennedy, Ask Not. I thought this was the best inaugural address I ever heard. Obviously, a lot of this event today, a lot of the president's speech was colored by the emotion of the fact that exactly 2 weeks ago, 14 days ago, there was a mob of thugs, of insurrectionists, of domestic terrorists on the inaugural stand, and Joe Biden was saying that democracy prevailed. We were able to get through that.
Where were all the terrorists yesterday?
And he was talking about how we need to get through that in the future if we are going to be a united country. He talked about
FTG. Chris Wallace. I don't want to hear his voice anymore. Anyway, the rest of that article about how it was kind of a shit show. Also, in the tabs today, Unity Watch, as Trump leaves office, the left shows us they're miserable, even in victory. Well, of course they are. Thank you, Pincalo, another $2 in via Super Chat. It says, Biden hurt both our countries with the keys. Oh, I said that already. Yeah, thank you so much. And then I just read what's coming up here. Also, let's see. This is just how miserable the left is. Deborah Messing, the actress, which I say generously. Wow. She watched Don Winslow's Trump New Army video, which is just ridiculous. And if you haven't seen it, you might want to look at that. Thank you, Black Hebrews. Your light.
Your line. That's right. That's right.
There we go. Who says, Black peeps, welcome to the back of the bus. Joe Biden. Yeah. Yeah. Joe's gonna, it might take him a while to get to the so-called black agenda. But I don't think, well, I'm not completely sold on having a black agenda. Although it's, I think the only form of reparations is called opportunity. That's the only type of reparations that you should be focused on. If it's not an opportunity-based program versus just giving people shit, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to do anything for black people. So I don't mind when there's, and I don't, regardless of your feelings on this, I don't mind when there are incentives for people to do better. And so that's what I mean by opportunity reparations. But anyway, you'll get a kick out of this article from just how miserable the left is. Also in the tabs, resisting the left's bogus narrative about Trump's presidency, as far as he's never got anything done. We kind of went through some of those in yesterday's show. And then also, Biden has signed an executive order that requires people to wear masks on federal property, and then promptly goes to the Lincoln Memorial after signing that mandate and forgot to wear a mask. So go figure. Rules for also, I think his family was there and they were taking pictures without masks. Yeah, there it is. There's some of his older grandkids. Oh, no masks. He just signed the freaking executive order. So anyway, and then what else here? Oh, the Pope. The Pope has told his Catholic bishops to stop preaching against Biden's anti-Catholic agenda. See, someone was making the point yesterday on the news. One of the news readers was talking about, Biden's Catholicism is a boon because it'll make him reach out and love all Americans even more. But, there's some things that Joe Biden likes that aren't exactly kosher in the Catholic Church, but the Pope has said, shut up and obey. He told the Conference of Catholic Bishops who denounced Joe Biden's stance on abortion, for example, because another one of the executive orders. So they're lifting the ban on using federal funds to pay for abortions in other countries. So what? How does that help Americans? But anyway, there's something. Anyway, dumb. So anyway, here's why the Pope is telling the Catholic bishops to shut the hell up and let Joe Biden be Joe Biden. Also, Biden moves for mass amnesties first day as president. This will tell you about the executive order on immigration. Just as we have another caravan making their way through the southern states, so to speak, as in the southern countries south of this country. We have another caravan coming, and let's see how Joe handles that. Also, a Breitbart article, yes, biased, but that's okay. Joe Biden amnesty bill elevates Fortune 500 migrants, but sidelines Americans. So a little more detail about that plan. And finally, I'm going to close the Parler tab because it doesn't work. So, guys, I got to go. I went over time here, and I always do that, but I do that for you, okay? I do it for you. I don't do it for the Vine, because Vine is no longer. Vine is now TikTok and stories on every social media platform. But I have to leave because I have places to go. Hey, before you think of doing anything, though, hit the like button because there's a lot more people than likes here, but that's okay. I appreciate all of you stuck around for most of the show. And if you didn't see all of it, you can always watch a replay. If you watch a replay, leave a comment in the comment section and share the stream with the people you know and love, or even if you don't know and love them, share it anyway. And finally, donations can be done through the links down below tell you how to do that if you want to donate to the show. I appreciate everyone who donates, but I also appreciate everyone who just watches the show and enjoys being in the chat. I appreciate everybody. So that's it for today, people. I just gotta go. My name's Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.